In this task, we are identifying Spanish words and phrases in the text. It's quite a long and detailed text, but we don't need to understand every word. And actually, we don't necessarily need to understand the Spanish words that we find for the answers, as long as we know which category of vocabulary they fall into, for example, activities at the beach or forms of transport. So what we're really doing here is scan reading and gist reading, just to hone in on the important words which will give us the answers. So we're going to start with question A. We're looking for types of holiday accommodation. We can see un piso, which is a flat or an apartment. And we can also see pequeños hoteles, small hotels. So there we go. There's our two types of holiday accommodation. We don't need to worry about those anymore because we've found the ones that we need in the text. For our three activities at the beach, we're going to need to find the word for beach just so we can see where we're looking at. It's the word playa, which is there in the text. So we can see that there are three activities here which end in amos. So it's the we form of the verb. So we have our three activities that the family would used to do at the beach. Nos bañábamos en el mar, jugábamos al fútbol, salíamos en barco. We don't necessarily need to know what these mean, but if we do, we would know that that means we swam in the sea, we played football, and we went out in a boat. For question 3, we're looking for cities. Now, luckily, these are usually cognates or near cognates, and if you know anything about Spain and the geography of Spain, then you might recognise a couple. So the first one we can see is Valencia. We then have Madrid, which is the capital of Spain, and our final city is not actually in Spain, it's Roma, which is Rome, the capital of Italy. So we're going to write down Valencia, Madrid, and Rome. Now for our final section, which is 5 types of transport, we're going to be looking for different forms of the verb ir, which means to travel or to go. And we're also going to be looking for the word en, which means by or in. So for example, en coche, by car. So let's see if we can find any. We have fuimos en autobús. We went by bus. We have íbamos en coche. We went by car. Fuimos en tren. We went by train. Ir en avión. To go by plane. Una vuelta en bicicleta. A tour by bike. Now we've used vocabulary to identify those words, but remember we don't need to include the verbs in our answers, and we don't really even need to include the word en. We can just write the literal words of the types of transport. So autobús, coche, tren, avión, bicicleta. I'm just going to finish off by reminding you what I said at the start, that we don't necessarily need to know what each word means. So for example, if you saw the word coche and thought it meant coach, it doesn't, it means car, but in this case it doesn't actually matter because we are identifying the words in Spanish, so we don't need to worry about their English meanings too much as long as we know which vocab category they fall into.